So today we're going to look at types of cells, and this is where we are in the notes. So there's two types of cells on Earth. This is a prokaryotic cell, and this is everything about prokaryotic cells. This is a eukaryotic cell, and that's what you need to know about eukaryotic cells. Then we're going to look at cell size and cell shape. So today's notes, unlike yesterday's notes, they're going to be a lot shorter. Okay, so we are looking at the simplest cells on Earth. Simplest. There are no internal membrane-bound organelles. Now, we talked about this yesterday in the last notes. Membrane-bound organelles. One example is a mitochondria. Can you guys think of any other example? What's a membrane-bound organelle? Okay. So you could have said chloroplast, vacuole, nucleus. So those are some membrane-bound organelles. These cells are so simple, they don't have a nucleus. Remember, the nucleus is the brain of the cell. This is the DNA of a prokaryotic bacterial cell. It's floating around, and we call it naked because there's no nucleus. Okay, and it's arranged like a studio or one-room home, like a studio apartment. So it's also the way I remembered it sitting in your chair. I remembered it. It's like a junk drawer. You kind of go in here and you're looking. Let's say you're looking for an item, and you may have to move all the stuff around to find it. Okay. Now they do have ribosomes. Okay, the little red dots. Okay, ribosomes make proteins, so that's not a membrane-bound organelle. That's actually a close cousin to DNA called RNA, so it doesn't have a membrane around it. They do have a cell membrane and a cell wall. Okay, so prokaryotic cells, okay, this is another picture of one, and this, for those of you that have taken a foods class here at South Central, this is what you can earn while you are here. It's called a ServSafe certificate. If you go into any fast food restaurant, a lot of the restaurants, I know Taco Bell does, they have all of the ServSafe certificates hanging on the wall. You get more money an hour just because you have this, because this says that you know how to keep these guys' bacteria from growing in the food. And if you get bacteria in the food, a bunch of people get food poisoning, and you can, some of them might even die. So, but bacteria are very, very quick at reproduction. So we're going to watch this little video link. It's insanely fast.
Bacteria reproduce very...
Okay, so I forgot to set this up ahead of time, guys. I'm sorry. There we go. So here we go.
Bacteria reproduce very simply and rapidly by doubling their contents and splitting in two. Just one bacterium, dividing every 20 minutes, could produce nearly 5,000 billion bacteria in one day.
Okay. So, pretty crazy. You've got to know, if you have this ServSafe exam, that tells your employer that you know the temperature to keep various food items, because they have different temperatures, to keep people from getting food poisoning. Now, this is something you may or may not be familiar with. This is a studio apartment in New York City. It is 350 square feet, and it costs you $350,000. And I just took this off the internet. This is 2020 at the end of July. Okay, the bed is a Murphy bed. So this bed, this little thing here, you see that there's like an indentation there. This right here is a Murphy bed. So it will fold down into the floor and come right up next to this dresser. So this whole thing folds down. And during the day, you have to put it up. And a lot of the nice Murphy beds right now, which this is a nicer apartment, this picture is like mounted to the wall, like the whole thing. It's not just hanging on a nail, so that you can bring it up and down. This is the person's living room. There's your bathroom. That's the kitchen. The door is right here. So the whole place is 350 square feet. Everything is in one room. So if one person has the Murphy bed down and is sleeping, the other person is stuck here unless they crawl over the bed to get out the door. Like literally, it's very, very small amount of space. That's the way that bacteria are arranged. Their DNA and their ribosomes are just floating around in there, just in whatever order. There's no specific order. So those are your prokaryotic. Pro means first, so that is simple. Karyote is a Latin name for cell. So prokaryote literally means simple cell or first cell. These are the first cells on planet Earth. Eukaryotic cells are like what we have. They are the most advanced cells. They do have internal membrane-bound organelles. So you see there's no ribosomes in this picture. Here's a vacuole, mitochondria, and nucleus. So we learned yesterday that organelle means what? Organelle means tiny organ. So the nucleus is the brain. The DNA can be creating copies of instructions to send out to the cell to tell it what to do. This mitochondria is making energy. This one may be asleep, not doing anything right now. The vacuole may have some food in it. There may be another vacuole maybe over here that's got water in it. And so it's like a nicely arranged drawer. So in this drawer, everything has its place. And it's also like your house. You have bedrooms. You probably have a kitchen, living area, closets, bathroom. Imagine your house with no interior walls, not even around the bathroom. Okay, lack of privacy. That's what prokaryotic cells are like. But eukaryotic cells are like our houses. They have different rooms where different things can happen at the same time. So, which cell type is considered the simplest? Prokaryotes or eukaryotes? And why? Okay. Well, prokaryotes are considered simple because they have no internal membranes. They do not have a nucleus. They do not have a vacuole. They do not have a mitochondria. They do not have a chloroplast. So that's why they're considered simple. Cell shape and size. Well, just by looking at these two pictures, are all cells the same size? Okay, obviously not. This is what infects a cut. You ever get a cut that's infected, you pour some hydrogen peroxide over it and it bubbles and fizzes? That's because it's killing off the bacteria in there. So each circle is one prokaryotic bacteria. And you notice you could count these if you wanted, and there's a whole bunch of bacteria, single-celled bacteria in this picture. This is this right here, my mouse is outlining one plant cell. In fact, the corner is off the field here. So this is one cell. This is a whole bunch. So prokaryotes are very, very small, and eukaryotes are larger. And these little green floating things, those are what makes energy in a cell for plants. Sorry, it makes food for plants. What organelle is that? Okay, that would be the chloroplast. Now, using the pictures, do all cells have the same shapes? No. Okay, this is a brain cell, or a cell that's in your spinal cord, your spinal column. The cell is either in the brain or the spinal cord, and then this goes all the way out to all parts of your body, all the way down to the tips of your toes and your fingers. Obviously, if you're Shaquille O'Neal, then these are a lot longer than if you are a dwarf. Okay, so this is very long cell. This is very, very, very small. Okay, you need microscopes to see most of these fibers. Okay, so why do cells have different sizes? Why do they have different shapes? Well, it relates to their job, also called their function. So the function or job of this cell is these tell you when in the middle of the night you wake up and you stump your toe on the bedpost because you can't see. It sends a message up to your spinal cord, and your spinal cord, your nervous system registers ouch, pain, and then you move your foot away. and may have a few choice words to say as well. And that's because these fibers are really long and skinny, and they can send messages really, really fast. Okay, so they have different jobs. This cell is in a plant, and its job is to make food from the sun. So that's the chloroplast through photosynthesis. So these cells are wide and flat because it relates to their job. Okay, here's some more functions. This is a computerized version of the nerve cell that was right here. This is the cells in your eyes. All right, so this is a short fat cell, and it sees color. Of course, some people are born colorblind because these cells dead, they don't work. These long skinny cells that even go all the way up here, these long skinny cells, they see black, white, and gray. So even in our eyeballs, depending on whether or not the cell sees color or not, actually dictates its shape. I think it's pretty cool. This is a red blood cell, and it's in a blood vessel, and this is a computer simulation, but our computer simulations are pretty good. So this cell would be floating through the bloodstream. Okay? So that ends the notes on types of cells, and you're going to have a culminating classwork assignment today to do that will help you practice yesterday's organelles along with today's cell types. So have a great day.